Hello and welcome back to this briefing. Today we're talking about conquering the challenges around identity and access management inside your AWS cloud. We've seen that we've met many of the requirements recommended by Amazon. We've secured the root account, we've provided multi-factor authentication, and we've provided the ability to provide SSO as well as provisioning of users on their roles inside AWS. Now we're going to see a lot of the capabilities, like for example, session management, the ability to access our AWS assets from outside our enterprise or from inside the enterprise in a centralized way with privileged session management. We're also going to see a little bit of shared account password management, but it's all to get to the point in which we can add our systems into Active Directory and enforce super user privilege management. Also, with Centrify, we can provide end-to-end auditing. So this one is going to be a little bit longer. So let's take a look. It all starts with Centrify Privilege Service. It allows you to add resources that can be Unix, Linux, or network devices for the purposes of privilege session management or shared account password management. So first and foremost, I'm going to access one of my resources inside EC2. So these resources, I can have a mixed environment with on-prem and things in AWS. So if I needed access to, for example, my Windows 2008 R2 that is out there, I can just sign in as myself. And I'm going to get an RDP session to that system. The reason why I'm signing in is because I want to open Active Directory users and computers. I don't have a site-to-site VPN. I have an independent AD in there. But we want to make sure that we provide you with the tools for automation, right? I'm going to show some of the things that we did in a previous how-to for public and private cloud. And I'm going to put it in this OU. I have no systems joined to Active Directory with Centrify. So we want to make sure that we can verify that. Another capability that we have is the ability to do shared account password management, and we can provide access without even exposing the password. For example, in here I have this AWS SVZ01. I can do a login, and what's going to happen is that's going to give me an assisted login with that account to that system. Okay, so I'm going to switch to my directory here. Another benefit that we have is proctoring, right? So if you are getting help from a consultant, or if you're watching a change control, you can always do proctoring by using a Centrify privilege service. You can do watch, and this is going to bring up a proctoring window. So everything that I do, for in this case, inside my CentOS machine, I'm going to be able to use. For example, if I list the files, right? Or if I try to see processes, I'll be able to see it in my Proctor session as well. The big benefit here is that if I want to terminate the session in real time, I can actually go ahead and do it. But that's not what we're going to do today. When you are using systems in AWS, you want to be able to spin up environments and destroy them real quick if needed. So with Centrify, we provide tools for automation that can be used by manual tools, by orchestration tools like Chef or Puppet. So the idea is that you have the tools to join a system as you build the machine, and as you decommission those machines, you leave the domain. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to run a command. I should have it here. Is the Centrify build. But I don't have the sudo password in here because I don't even know that account's password. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a checkout of that account password. And I'm going to just put it in the clipboard. So let's go ahead and do a checkout. And I'm going to put it in the clipboard. Now I can go to my session and I can paste it. So what that's going to trigger is a set of scripts that are going to go authenticate against AD with a key tab. They're going to run the AD join command, join a zone, and join a computer role. So the net result should be that when I look, I can actually provide the compliance needs that I need in terms of reporting, in terms of access. So when I go back here to my AWS system, I should be able to see um, a a machine in here, a machine object. That is my AWS machine. If I look at the properties of this machine, it's running CentOS 6.5. That means that I can account for it with Windows management tools. If I open Access Manager, I should be able to see if I'm challenged by security, hey, I need to see who has access to this AWS system, what can they do, and what are the privileges that they have. I can always look at the computer, right click on it, and do show affected user rights. And you'll see not only, for example, in the case of myself, not only my Unix identity, but the roles that I have. I'm a sysadmin, and I have the ability to log in through any PAM protocol, run any command as root, and I can also generate a report if needed, right? So if I have an old school security department, they want to see reports, I can always generate those reports for them. If I wanted to access my system, I can always use CPS, and I can limit that to internal or from the outside, and I can go to my actual resource. And instead of logging in with an assistant credential, I can just say, well, you know what, I'm going to do a manual login. And I already have a user in there. When the system was not logged in, the user couldn't access because it wasn't joined to Active Directory. So if I do an ID, or if I do a AD query user, I can see my Unix identity. But if I want to see way much more information, I can see all that. And in addition, if I need to, for example, elevate AD flush, those who know Centrify know that AD flush can only be run by root, right? I can do a DZ do, and what you'll see here is that if I authenticate correctly, is that the user will be able to perform the duties. But ultimately, what we're looking is for increased accountability. So if I do DZ do tail var log secure, um, notice that it is going to tell me it was Robertson who logged in through SSH. It was Robertson who ran the AD flush command, and it was actually Robertson who actually also opened the secure log. So ultimately, we're meeting the needs for authentication, super user privilege management. We're logging with the identity, and ultimately we don't have to deal with SSH keys. We can control how people get access. They don't need VPNs, and we can actually tie that and say that we don't want people to access from the outside. I'm hoping that this paints a picture on how Centrify can not only meet or exceed the needs for an enterprise around AWS. And again, we develop our products. Many of them are AD centric, so you can reuse what you have in terms of infrastructure, process, and the knowledge of your team.